Luke Broyles here. Hello, everyone. We have two extremely special guests with us today. Of course, first of all, we have George. Thank you for joining me. And of course, the one, the only, Jerome Powell. It was very nice of Jerome Powell to take time out of his busy schedule debasing and distorting monetary policy to join us today and talk about George's wonderful football team, Bitcoin football team, with a Bitcoin strategy that you're accelerating here and then also establishing it in El Salvador. So George,
That's
Jay
right.
Powell, thank you for joining.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So we are currently here in Bulgaria at the Bulgarian Bitcoin conference. I know you just got here a couple hours ago, but how you like it?
Literally, yeah. Literally just landed from El Salvador. I'm super thankful to Plamen for organizing all of this because it's a big thing. Like, this is the second international conference that he has done in the country. And it makes a difference, for people for our local people to meet guests like you, to meet other guests, because many of them they've seen you online, but it kind of adds this important energy when there's the one-on-one personal contact that they can experience on this event.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I fully agree. And for me, coming from the American side, I've never been to Bulgaria. I've never been to Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
right?
No. Especially Bitcoin is so exciting. Frankly, going all these places, meeting all these people, and sometimes meeting some people twice and three times, crazy, like different parts of the world.
Right. Yeah, we first met in Portugal a couple months ago.
Right.
And you told me then about the football team you're working on. How you're having a Bitcoin strategy integrated football team. So, why football? Why Bitcoin? And why a football Bitcoin team?
Right.
Why El Salvador? Tell us the whole story.
Right. So the story in brief is the following. Our owner and president of the club bought the club 3 years ago because he saw a lot of potential in it as, the club was not doing very well. The team was not doing very well, but it had this historic legacy. It is the oldest Bulgarian football club. It was at the time its brand new stadium was finished. It was being built, and now it's completely finished. It's the most modern facility in Bulgaria. Kind of, like in basically in Madeira, the stadium that was there. Ours is probably 2-3 times bigger, something like this. And then Anton, the president, he's done a lot over the past 2 years to improve kind of the general football-related things, to take best practices from Germany, UK, Italy, where kind of football is, I would say, not just popular, but just the way in which you do football business is established, right? Here we have quite some things to catch on in terms of how you actually do football business, how you actually develop players, and so on and so forth. So there's been a lot that's done on this path to bring our club back to its glorious European days, because actually, this season, we're celebrating 40 years since we beat Bayern Munich here in Bulgaria, in Plovdiv at our in our stadium, and then Anton's vision is to move us back on European level every year, and so there's all the best practices, and then there's Bitcoin on top of it, right? Because he had these people around him who kind of opened him to the idea of Bitcoin is going to be. He's going to play a huge role in society, and you can win a lot if you kind of connect these two on the one hand. And then on the other hand, there's also this unique aspect of running a football club, especially like one like ours, when we have tens of thousands of people, watching and keeping attention, because a club is not just a sports team. Especially like our club, and I think many other sports clubs, it's really a public institution. It's something that people gather around, people care for, people support each other. There's like these things where people, they would support somebody who is in need, or they would do some social campaign, or in various ways be involved and feel like a large family, if you want, when you care about a particular sports organization. And this what also makes it very unique for us to push Bitcoin from a completely different angle into the conversation, as opposed to, the standard kind of discussions as to money is broken, and our friend Jerome here is just twisting the monetary policy. Like, here's more about we can think about exciting ways to push, for example, Bitcoin through through leaders, through players, through people that others look up to integrate actually Bitcoin in various new ways. Because one thing that I'm extremely excited about is we have this vision of building the world's first 360-degree football club.
What does that mean?
Well, it's kind of we're defining it as we go, to be completely frank. But in its very base, like I was a bit triggered sometimes because of like people are like, "So what do you do with Bitcoin? You only accept it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but there's so much more you can do, right? There's really a lot of kind of creativity that one can implement." So, for instance, what we're doing is, we want to make this. We want to make Bitcoin an integral part of our identity and of kind of the operations of the club, because we believe that if we get, Bitcoin to be obviously on the balance sheet, if we get people around us to also get it, if we get our players and the community to get it and to become co-owners, to become, just understanding what it is, then over the long run, this can have a huge positive impact on our business. And for us, this is also a hack to internationalize our brand, bring us faster to this European level that I mentioned. And yeah, just like Microserver has done, just like any others has done, like to accelerate, it's a hack for personal growth. It's a hack for business growth. So what we're doing, we have integrated Bitcoin as payments. We have added it on our jerseys. We promote Bitcoin education in our fan shops, where the books that I publish in Bulgarian, Bitcoin Standard, Fiat Standard, Price of Tomorrow are available in our fan shops. We every now and then commemorate like Bitcoin-related events. We kind of try to integrate them into our existing culture. We partnered with Jan3, and we have their Aqua wallet in Botev mode. So yellow black is our colors, right? So which also brings that wallet closer to the average fan, right? And now, excitingly, we've very much looked into kind of end of last year, we started looking into El Salvador and what they're doing. They're outside of just Bitcoin being legal tender. And one of the most exciting things that is happening there is they're building their capital markets. They're building capital markets from scratch, basically. They've done basically what Jerome, not Jerome Powell, Gary Gensler, he's been saying for years, right? Bitcoin is commodity. It's basically, money, right? Gold, and everything else is security. And that's literally what El Salvador just did. They made Bitcoin legal tender, and now, end of last year, they introduced their digital securities framework, which provides super clear guidance as to how you can issue debt instruments, how you can sell equity to the public, and so on and so forth. And we started looking into this, and it was like, because we wanted to involve Bitcoin in a monetary way. We were looking for us to involve our existing community members, our fans, but also wider people into kind of this project. And so what we found there is that because they have Bitcoin as legal tender, because they have this law, it's like really the prime place where we could, and we are actually now in the process of going to decentralized ownership of our club. So what we have done, I just went to El Salvador to meet lots of stakeholders there, is where we've incorporated the company. And now the next plan is to, this company is going to become the holding company of our existing real business here on the ground in Bulgaria, where we have the stadium, we have like everything operational is happening. But the economic center is going to be in El Salvador, just because, it's a no-brainer economically, because in El Salvador, Bitcoin is legal tender. In any other country in the world, including here, you have capital gains taxes on Bitcoin. And second, because once you become a digital asset issuer, which we are in the process of becoming, you get zero taxes. So it's like, frankly, we're the first to do it, but I think we're definitely not going to be the last.
Right. You have a huge advantage from a money standpoint and also a marketing standpoint, just for being the first.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. In general,
a brand benefit.
Yeah. In general, I don't know. Like it's kind of I guess we were at the right place at the right time, but it's working out well so far. I've been extremely positively surprised by the locals there, on a governmental level, on a consulting level, because we have our law firm there. Just people have been very welcoming and very open and friendly to putting us in touch with others that can help locally. And I think what at least in my mind, it's like I don't see any other reason why other companies and businesses, sports clubs potentially wouldn't do the same. Like if Bitcoin is a major part in their strategy, why not just open a holding there and hold the Bitcoin there? At least, it could make sense for you to have even operations, but even just like on a structural business level, why would you hold Bitcoin in any other country if in El Salvador you can hold Bitcoin, and not pay capital gains taxes? And then especially if you want to raise capital, which is where it gets really more interesting, because if you become a digital asset issuer, which let's say it's not for every company, right? You have to be, I would say, like more like mid-size or specific company. It has to make sense for your business. But then it's like, then there's zero taxes at this point. So
win-win.
Yeah.
Win for El Salvador, win for you guys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Win for Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's a lot, because I'm from America.
Right.
When we hear football, we hear like a oblong.
Right.
You have real football, right?
Yeah.
And real football is a much bigger market than American football, right? American football has got a lot of money, but not nearly as many people as actual football, right?
No,
and
absolutely.
so that's a huge market. There are billions of people that are going to see that message if more soccer and football, people accelerate that message. And I'm sure there's a lot of money in these, FIFA, whatever, football, soccer teams and organizations, right? So it seems to me both from a awareness perspective, it's a huge market, as well as from a capital perspective. Like if more teams copy you in the future, that's going to be a lot of money from these sporting events flowing into Bitcoin and Bitcoin strategies.
No, but it's inevitable. I just wrote a piece on this, published it last week, that Bitcoin is going to become a key part of every football club and sports club in general. And so far, people have been, sports clubs and football clubs specifically have been very much distracted by these fan tokens, which were super popular in the past couple of years, which has been like a huge flop, right? There's basically, because all of the largest clubs in Europe, like you say, it's a huge market. It's the most watched sport in the world, right? All of the large clubs, when you start from Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Lazio, and so many others, like there's 50, 60, 70 clubs, they issued these fan tokens. They sold them to their fans, many of whom they don't have financial education, they don't have understand anything from tokens and cryptocurrencies. With all of these tokens, the chart is like this. And honestly, it's stupid, it's sad, because these people really care for their clubs. Like they give their all, they give their hearts, and you literally screw them up. Because there's no nicer way to say it. I don't know. Like you take their money, and it's unfortunately in my mind it's these fiat incentives, just like permitting every part of society, including sports club. Why do they do it? I don't know. Just to sell some tokens and increase their short-term revenues for the year. They're not going to make almost any revenues next year. It's just stupid. It's just like all this short-termism that is all across society. And then for us, because we are not, and they have the big audiences, right? They have the big games. So for them, it's like easy money. For us, frankly, on the one hand, if we do this, we're not going to make that money. Although there are some small clubs that still do it, which for me is even crazier. But for us, we see this as a strategic opportunity because we're a large club. In Bulgaria, we're the third largest club, oldest club. We have the best stadium here. But on a European level, we're still an underdog, right? We just won the Bulgarian Cup. Now we're going to enter the second most prestigious European competition, Europa League. So we're going to get that exposure. We're going to have the Bitcoin jersey, Bitcoin logo on the jersey. But we have a lot to go, potentially, in improving and leveling up. And we have the incentive to think kind of more longer term, I guess, exactly because we're not that big, right? We're not the establishment. which is why Bitcoin makes so much sense. And because like we think like what can we do in 3, 4, 5 years, which is not that much time really in the grand scheme of things. But again, like it's unfortunately other clubs are just used to this short-termism. But I think it's just a matter of time. And I published this piece to some extent, to a large extent, hoping that so far I think it's still staying within Bitcoin circles. But I hope it also reaches traditional people. They start thinking about, hey, because like really, if you're a sports club and if you have a strong balance sheet, go and raise debt and buy Bitcoin with it. I don't know, like you decide how much, right? But because Bitcoin is going to outperform your equity almost for sure. Like, I mean, it depends what type of club you are. There can be specific cases, but on a general level, you know, if you don't have that strong of a balance sheet, which is kind of the case for us, well then sell some equity, you know, get people involved, find your unique strategy, or you know, depending what it's really kind of is tailored, but put some Bitcoin on the balance sheet. It makes sense for everyone to have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. It's just that I don't know, like, nobody did it. Nobody gave an example, and we're here to do it.
Right. Well, I think it's very interesting. I think it's very exciting. I mean, even if this takes 5-10 years, that's probably millions of people that are going to see the Bitcoin message. It'll probably take a lot of unlearning from the crypto days, you know, and probably it will also result in millions, if not tens of millions of dollars flowing, probably hundreds of millions or billions of dollars flowing to Bitcoin and stacking it on balance sheets for the long term. And hopefully people will enjoy sports more because of it.
Right. Well, and I think here's also the big opportunity because of these sports club, especially once you orange pill key players, if they really get it, I mean, they have huge followings. Like, and even if, like, you know, even if the player is, let's say, he has a huge following within his community, like he doesn't have to be Ronaldo or something, although it would be nice, right? But he's kind of involved in other crypto-related projects right now. But any of these players, if they make a stance, hey, I accept Bitcoin, I get part of my salary, or I convert part of my salary in Bitcoin. This can really get, like you say, hundreds of thousands, millions, you know, over time, people to get into this, which is why, like, I think sports in general and Bitcoin is so cool because it's entertainment, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for making Bitcoin fun and trying to spread that to the rest of the world and using a means that a lot of people really enjoy. So hopefully Bitcoin makes soccer better, and hopefully or football, and hopefully football brings people to Bitcoin. So
absolutely.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Luke.
Appreciate it. Maybe we'll see each other in another European country sometime soon.
100%.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Lots of people want to buy Bitcoin. After all, you get daily income in terms of Satoshi. But most people don't want to deal with the fact that Bitcoin mining is extremely low, and there is a lot of ongoing maintenance in these machines. And so, if you want to begin mining Bitcoin and experience those benefits without having to deal with the heat, shipping costs, or sound of these machines, you should consider hosted Bitcoin mining. Click the link in the description below where you can learn about hosted Bitcoin mining and Blockware solutions. You can begin earning Bitcoin in a matter of moments without having to deal with lots of the difficulties it takes to start mining. In addition, you also get industrial energy prices, which you cannot compete with in the vast majority of residential scenarios. So if you want industrial energy prices, if you want the ease and convenience of hosted mining without the difficulties of it, please click the link in the description below where you can learn about how Blockware Solutions is making this extremely easy for everyone. No matter where your skill level is, you can begin Bitcoin mining instantly in an extremely user-friendly way. The link is in the description below. Thank you.